Drop.
All right, GM, everybody. You're welcome to another live stream with Onchain Africa by Afroplay. And it's always a privilege to be seated in front of you guys to talk about these amazing startups that we talk about on these live streams. And just in case you're joining us for the first time, you're welcome, like I'd always say. And it's always nice to talk to you guys also, as usual. And just in case you don't know what we do on Onchain Africa, this is let me say, your go to spot to listen to what African founders or builders are building using the blockchain technology. Already something I've been running for quite some time now. We've spoken to over or about 24 guests so far, and to me, it's been an amazing experience knowing that we Africans are not just consumers, but we also have the initiative to produce amazing things, useful products that get to VCs and they're able to raise funding also. So it's really amazing to talk to them. And this is not just about to talk about the founders or the products, it's also to give back to you guys, you're watching, listening from wherever you're watching from, so you can be motivated. Seeing these people doing amazing things, regardless of how we are all from a third world country or we are from third world countries. And it's kind of discouraging, but regardless, people are still doing amazing things, coming up with brilliant ideas that is not just used in Africa, but used globally. So I would love you to get to fasten your seatbelt because it's going to be an amazing ride today. And as I would always ask for just one favor I'd always ask you, all right? Just retweet the live stream. I'm asking that you guys retweet the live stream. If you are streaming on YouTube or watching us from YouTube right now, just copy the link and post on your WhatsApp status or whatever platform it is that you use. Just help me with that. That's all I ask for. All right. And if you're on Twitter, definitely just the retweet button is going to be very, very much appreciated. So thank you so much. And like we have this live stream twice every week on Mondays on and Wednesdays or Thursdays, depending on the guests that we have, right? And it's something that you can always come back and probably turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the live streams. And if you miss any of our live stream, it's always live or always available on YouTube. You can go down to YouTube and search for Afro Play Studio. All right, it's the same with our Twitter handle, but just the studio aspect, or just had the studio part, and you definitely find us on YouTube. That's where we have all of our live streams. And currently, we are working on our website right now for the Onchain Africa aspect of Afro Play. The website is going to be available hopefully before the end of this week, so you can easily go down and it's like a go-to spot for all our previous live streams. All right, also the founders and the guests we've had on the live streams also. So rather than you moving from one platform to the other, we are building a website that consists of all the necessary information as regards all of our live streams. And amazing, right? So let's just keep building and keep shipping amazing things. So if you know a friend that should be on this live stream, do well to probably send the link to them, asking them to join, encourage them to join because I'm sure they're going to learn a couple of things from today's live stream. Today we're having a guest from Kenya. I mean, I feel so excited to talk to someone from Kenya. I've spoken to somebody, sorry, from Nairobi, and now I'm going to talk to somebody from Kenya, and it's actually a nice privilege. And she's building something amazing. Right, I love when I see women doing something in a male or guy saturated space, honestly. So let me bring her up stage now and probably she'll pronounce her name because I can't pronounce the name, obviously. So, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Yvonne.
Sorry, pronounce again, sorry.
I'm Yvonne. Yvonne.
Okay, Yvonne. Oh, so the Y is pronounced as E.
Yes, yes.
Oh, can you imagine? I was pronounced as Vaughn in my head.
I hear
I'm
you.
glad I didn't come and mess myself up here, by the way. So it's nice speaking to you. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm very well. How's the weather over there?
It's getting cold. July is usually our coldest month in
Mm,
Kenya. So it started. It's January is our hottest, so we go colder, colder. And July is the first day of July, so it's a bit chillier than usual, but not as bad as it gets. It gets really bad.
than this, right?
Yeah, it gets really, really cold.
Wow. Nice. I mean, yeah, in Nigeria, it's called our raining season, so it's been raining heavily, and you hardly get to see the sun, by the way, most times. So, like, it's a lot of downpour of rain. But I hope we just stay cold and stay away from flus too, because I know this period people get sick a whole lot. But it's all
Mhm.
well. It's all good. So, like our normal ritual is here on Onchain Africa is that every of our guests we get to know them, their previous life, how their life was before Web3 or wherever it is that you're building right now. How was life for you? How did you start building? What inspired you? What was the journey like for you, especially having you as a lady by the way?
Okay, so about me, I've been in crypto for about 8 years now. I'm an OG. I consider myself an
OG.
yeah, yeah. I consider myself an OG. I have been working, providing services. I started off as a community manager, a Telegram community manager,
Mm,
for a company back in the day. It was called Kubitex. It was a Ghanaian company. I started off as a community manager, then grew to another community manager, then I grew to country manager at Paxful. Back in the day, Paxful was a P2P exchange. I was in charge of growing the market here in Kenya. Then
mm,
that ended, continued. Then most recently, my most recent role was leading the ICP. Um, ICP is a blockchain. It was a layer one
mm,
market here in Kenya. So yeah, that's me. I've had multiple. Everyone who's worked in Web3 knows how crazy things get. You can have so many jobs. In fact, we were interviewing for a BD role recently, and people were just telling us, "Oh, I've worked here, here, here," and I could relate so much because you end up working so much in so many companies.
yeah.
Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. That was me before Block Wisely.
All right, but let's talk about how you got into crypto. Right, it's amazing to hear that you've been in crypto for 8 years. Come on, that's like 2x how long I've been in this space. So, how did you get into crypto? How did you hear about crypto? What was the journey like? The learning curve, like, how was it like for you?
Well, learning about crypto, it was in uni, back in my university days.
Mm,
I was studying financial. Right now, it's called financial engineering, but back then it was called financial economics. So I was
mm,
studying financial economics in university, and that's when we were looking at emerging trends. For my final year, we were looking at emerging trends in the financial economics industry. And
mm,
that's when some students were talking about Bitcoin, blockchain, blah, blah, blah. And I got so curious about it and I was so fascinated. So, right after I graduated from uni, I went to a tech bootcamp because I always knew, all my life, I knew I wanted to be in tech.
mm,
So I went to a tech boot camp, and in that tech boot camp, they used to have like Wednesday sessions where they'd have guest events coming in, guest speakers and events. Then I got really interested in the blockchain events because once in a while you'll have blockchain events,
mm,
and those because particularly because I understood what they were talking about because of my background in financial economics. I'd go there, they talk about derivatives like longing, shorting, trading, Bitcoin, centralization, central banks. So all that, it was easy for me to connect, and that's when I was able to combine tech and financial economics. Just it was like definite merging because it clicked in my brain.
mm.
Yeah.
So let's say your onboarding process was a lot easy compared to other people's onboarding process.
How are other people's onboarding processes? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying now because you had a very good background in finance and you coming to see talk about, or like you said, shorts, longs, and all of that. It wasn't so much of a terminology for you to understand. It was easy for you because you have a background in that. Imagine somebody who studied mathematics like myself coming to understand all these things. It's like two different worlds apart. So it's a different
Yeah.
world. Well, yeah. So I know it can be because many people hear about blockchain, crypto, and they're like, ah, it's another tech related thing, and I cannot just wrap my head around it. All right. So
Mhm.
it's just crazy. So but let's talk about something that we really experience here in Nigeria, by the way. Over the years, we've struggled with crypto adoption in Nigeria because I mean, as a last year, the police, if you get stopped by the police and they found some like Binance on your phone or Bybit, any centralized exchange, you're going to be probably arrested because they think you're into fraud and things like that. I don't know if such ideology actually existed or exists in Kenya.
Um, well, it's we don't get stopped on the road. by the police to check our phones. They don't do that. However,
Mm-hmm.
crypto people do get targeted. They do get targeted because there's the assumption that if you're in crypto, you're wealthy.
Yeah.
When I always preach, it's just as ordinary. Kenyans, we've had the challenge of unemployment. It's very difficult to get a job in Kenya. At least in
Mm-hmm.
my time, as millennials, these days we're separated. As millennials, we used to have a huge time when you'd go to look for a job. It was very difficult. So our generation, they got really creative when it came to online. They started doing freelance work and then accepting payment with PayPal. And then PayPal was, of course, we all know about PayPal, how discriminatory they are. They
Yeah,
started looking for other options, and that's how they came across Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies, and they started receiving payments in it. So then came the arbitrage opportunities that came with it, and then a number of freelance workers moved from doing freelance work to crypto trading because of the arbitrage opportunities in peer-to-peer trading. However, you find that after a while, they're targeted by, for example, banks. Let me not be quoted, but but you'd find like you have to back in the day you would be trading using bank transfer and all that. So when
Mm-hmm.
a bank sees that you're converting so much money and you could just be just rotating some money in P2P trading, they think you're wealthy, but really it's just trying to make ends meet. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
you'd find some rogue employees trying to target people who seem to trade crypto and try and scam them. Or if you hear anyone talking about crypto, people will ask you so many questions, find a way to get in your brain. And also with our policemen, we have this unit called DCI, which is the investigative body of the government. So sometimes crypto is used to launder money. No
Yeah.
lie,
No,
like
like.
yeah, we have to be like, if we are calling a spade. But you'd find sometimes, for example, there was a time a bank was hacked, yeah, by some student hackers. Then they went and took that money and converted it into Bitcoin. They went to P2P traders, like a P2P on Binance, and
Hmm.
they cashed out using, like, they just converted the money to Bitcoin. So all the people who received the money from the bank were called as part of the scam, but yet they're just
People,
genuine.
people that wanted to change their money.
Yeah, so we have a lot of that. So whenever like the police or the DCI find that you're associated with crypto, you could be a genuine person doing genuine business.
Mm.
However, they might already have a bias towards you, that either you have so much money to waste, or you're doing illegal business, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually cannot agree less on the fact that, because it also happens in Nigeria also, we call it dirty money. All right, when people that involve themselves in illicit activities try to clean the money, one of the things that they do is they go to exchanges and try to do P2Ps, and a lot of innocent people actually get roped into this, and you will not end up paying. You probably just wanted to get about $10. You are now paying way more than $10 to just set yourself free for an incident
Yeah.
or a crime you had no idea about. But I just wish the government could find a better way to resolve things like this and do very good research. So let's talk about crypto jobs. All right, I'll call you an OG in the job space, by the way, because I know you've been in space for 8 years now. Comparing the job space, the crypto or Web3 job space right now, comparing to how you started, what do you think is the difference, and how do you feel people watching this right now that want to get in the job space can probably properly position themselves to get employed here in the Web3 space?
That's a very good question. It's actually what I talked about. I have a newsletter, so maybe a shameless shill. If people go to blockwisely.com and join our newsletter, it's exactly what I talked about in my newsletter. Um, like it's different. It's completely different because back in the day, when I remember when I was starting out, I just go to LinkedIn jobs, and then start applying, and I'd get so many. I used to get so many approval rates. I remember there's a time I had 4 jobs
Mm,
for crypto. And it was so easy to get those jobs. It was so easy back in the day. And I remember I had an organization before I had formed. It was called Kenya Blockchain Ladies DAO. And
mm,
my goal was to introduce women to jobs in Web3. It's because I had gotten so many jobs, And then I realized I don't have to do all these jobs. I can
Yeah.
actually hire Kenyan women who are unemployed because unemployment was an issue back in the
Mm.
day. I can hire Kenyan women, give them something like do 50-50 payment, and
Mm.
then train them on how to get their own jobs later. Yeah. So I had done that and even formed an organization to train women, and it became so successful. I remember there was a time Kenya had like 40% female participation. But then when I compare these days, like for me, like after my last job, it was after leading the ICP community in Kenya. I tried getting a job after, and it was so difficult. It was so difficult because I really pushed. I sent, did the same. We went to LinkedIn, but then when I go to LinkedIn, people are saying, "Oh, LinkedIn is scam. Like you can't get jobs in LinkedIn anymore." And I'm wondering how this is how I've been doing it for a very long period of time. But then you see, I'd been out of the market for 3 years because my last
Yeah.
job lasted 3 years, and it had an non-compete. I wasn't even trying to work for anyone else. And then now it's just so difficult. Now it hit me when I was hiring the business development role this last week. We got so many applicants. And they were so good. Their CVs were so good. They were so qualified. They were so talented. There's some who even sent us we are just calling. I just sent out a post. Hi, I'm hiring a BD. Share any referrals. So someone would send me a basic hi. I'm interested. There are people who would send hi. I'm interested. Then there are others who would send you a long paragraph saying, oh, this, and this. I do this. I have this experience. This is how much revenue I brought in from my previous employer. Blah 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 blah. That's the second category. The third category would do all that plus send in a proposal for how they can how they can assist you with your goals. You haven't even told them your goals, and all I posted was, "Hi, I'm hiring a bit." Then I'm like, we
Mm.
even sat down with my co-founder and said, "Now I understand why I can't get a job because."
Because he did normal hi. I am I am Yvonne.
Yeah, hi. My governor was like, I'd be under category one who would be saying, hi, I'm interested. And personally, I'd be under category two saying, hi, I like what you're doing. Thank you. This is my. Then there are those people who are going above and beyond
Beyond, yeah.
to like go and make sure the needs of the employer is met. And on top of that, like we would like every 5 years, every I always say every 5 years there's usually a shift in any industry because
Yes.
every 5 years there have been five sets of graduates, people who've graduated. Yeah,
Mm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, people have come out of schools. And these people are faster than you. These people now have AI. These people are cheaper than you because they've just come out of school. These
Mm.
people are people who are really smarter, way smarter than you. And it's biology. You can't really do anything about it. So
Mm-hmm.
what makes you different from this person? What makes you qualified for this job rather than this person? On top of that, Web3 is mostly remote work.
Yeah.
Everyone wants remote work. Everyone wants to stay at home and work. Mothers, for me as a woman, I want to, relax at home and see my children. It's not fun when you're a mother and you have to go to, it's usually a very, I don't know, maybe women can relate. Usually a very hard experience when you have to go to work when your baby is small. So that's why I formed the Ladies DAO, Kenya Blockchain Ladies DAO, because I understood the pain of women walking out of home and going to work in an office, coming home late, coming home after exposed to so much energy. So everyone wants remote work. So right now there's so much competition, so much talent, and you can't really compare it to 8 years ago.
Mm. And that's very true. I mean, like you said, that the way people just applied, like on a very professional level. And as someone as I've worked in the crypto space for quite some time too, and I've also noticed the shift. I mean, back in like say 3, 4 years ago, I could have like 4 jobs, and I'm like, okay, you outsource it to somebody and all of that. But now it's way different because the manner of approach is different. I think somehow Web3 is kind of incorporating the Web2 styles of things. And I think that's actually what's going to make the space a better place because we have more serious people and more professional people as time goes on. All right. And that's why I tell people, probably people that, because I'm also big on Web3 jobs also. And I tell them that more things have changed and you have to learn how to be very valuable to whatever project you want to work with. Like you have to be very valuable, that value is worthy of their money and their time. All right. So So that's just basically. But let's leave all of this. Let's go down to block wisely now. All right, something that fascinates me as a person, and I've seen that you've done amazing things with block wisely. All right, so for those people that are watching right now and are just hearing about block wisely for the first time, what is block wisely actually about?
Okay, so Blockwisely is it's a news and PR platform for
Mm,
Web3. We've been specifically focusing on Africa, news in Africa. Um, that's basically it, and education. We write a lot of educational pieces. Why we formed it was a bit accidental. It was a very funny story. So my co-founder, I met with my co-founder when I was the country manager at Paxful. He was one of our most respected traders, and
mm,
I remember one time he had been hacked and he had been robbed. And as the country manager, I was so concerned. I went to looking for him. What happened? How can we help? Blah blah blah. And then we became friends since. And then he had a blog wisely. It was very ugly back in. I hope he hears this, but it was just an ugly developer, just a geek
mm,
blog with some funny articles. And me having experience of like I had just come from ICP. ICP had taught me a lot about managing people, about funding, about because they had the role that I was given was founder of ICP Hub Kenya, and
mm,
I learned a lot about I learned systems, I learned a lot about operations, I learned about financial management, and I had to teach myself while there. So when he came and I found he had this blog, I just told him, let me pump it up a bit. So I gave it color, I gave it a team, I gave it, revenue designs, I gave it a lot of things. And
mm,
then we were just going about our day. Then our friend at BitGet, one of the country manager for BitGet, reached out to us and told us, "Do you realize that you're doing the highest numbers when it comes to crypto news in Africa?" You're like, for real? He used a platform called SimilarWeb and he showed us, yeah, you're doing 300K a month. Cabal does 1 million a month. We had 300K a month.
mm.
And we looked at it and we were like, whoa, how
You
did
didn't realize that.
we didn't even know. And that time it was right after I spent. I had like I
Mm,
was like trying to transition from one job to the other. And I was like, the industry has changed and it's also time to change. Every five, like I said, the 5-year policy, the industry has changed. You can't be competing with people. I just turned 30. I just turned 30. And you can't be competing with kids who just came out of school and they're also looking for opportunity. So I
mm,
decided it's time to be a founder. It's
mm.
time to create jobs because the industry has given me so much. It's time to give back. And that's how me and my co-founder decided it's time to build something and focus on Blockwisely full time.
Wow. I think that's really amazing to hear your story, and I one thing I also appreciate the fact that you got to a point where you realize that it's high time you gave back to the community, or you gave back to people that crypto has done so much for you. And many people actually get stuck at that point. All right, probably they've been community moderators, community managers, and you want to go and be competing with somebody that probably just knows this thing way better than you. Why not just be at the cutting edge of things where you be the one who decides how things actually work? And that's why I tell people, if you probably have a job today, you are not going to do that job forever. So start thinking of how you can transition so that it's easy for you. All right. You don't want to be without job and you're now thinking, how do I get job? How do I transition? And it gets more complex. And I really appreciate the fact that you person in person realized that and you just took actions towards that for yourself. So, but I'd love to ask, all right. I mean, this is the first African that I'm talking to that is building a PR agency for Africa. But why did you choose to limit your niche and your scope down to Africa?
Well, I didn't see it as a limitation. I also try to, the pre you get a lot of travel experience. So you move around and you see which gaps are there. Yeah. So when we look at our readership, our first is Kenya because that's where we are from. Our second is USA. Our third is Nigeria. Fourth is China. So we didn't really limit ourselves to Africa per se. But then when you go out there and you start speaking to people, we tried saying, oh, we are Web3 media for emerging markets. Okay, which
Mm,
emerging markets? are you doing it for India? India is a whole billion people. Do you understand India? You go to China. China is like one of the biggest crypto markets. Are you addressing? Do you even know them? Do you even understand them? But then when you sell Web3 media for Africa, that catches someone ear. So we don't. We never. Personally, I'm not for limiting. I actually wanted to be Coindesk. Like I want to be looking at Coindesk and then competing with them. But we realized that there was a gap for Africa because we didn't find that the competitors that we have, maybe Bitcoin Cake, Mariblock, which are the Coin Africa, they don't really get to the numbers that we have. So we realized, and they don't really meet the market needs the way we've noticed people desire it. So that's when we were like, okay, the barrier to entry is not as high, and let's go for it.
All
Yeah.
right. I really like that. And I love the way that you guys you've actually got into some landmarks that makes a lot of sense. But I'll also talking about those milestones you've mentioned in terms of reach and all of that. I mean, do you have any idea of what you guys implemented that these other people that are doing something similar to what you're doing haven't figured out, or they are not doing, but you guys have chosen to do it?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I have no idea. honestly, honestly, don't. I would look at them and be like, okay, you guys have really, even sometimes we go and borrow their news, but we are
Oh.
not sure because that's what PR people do. We're not
Mm.
quite sure. Maybe because we are new. I don't know.
She said she's not sure, but I think that I totally understand that, and I just think probably people just like reading your stuffs, right?
Mhm.
So, but let's talk because you didn't mention that you had a background in writing, all right? So let's talk about how you delved into the world of writing because PR newsletters has to do with a lot of writing. So how was the transitioning like for you, or you had a flair for writing initially or something? Just want to know.
Now, for me, I don't write. I don't, my co-founder is the one who writes. He's very
And it
good at it.
and it trades also. Wow,
Yeah,
talented
he's
young
oh my
man.
God, he's such a genius. I'm honestly honored to work with him because we met him because I was really fascinated with how he was trading. In fact, most of us knew him at that time. Um, but for me, I came in with the design because I had my designer from my SP. I came in with the design. I came in with a
Mm,
team because we have to have like community management, etc. Like social media management. He didn't have all that with his previous blog. He had to have like there's having a blog, yeah, and then there's creating systems. Like you can have a
mm,
blog, but you're not selling it. You're not doing social media. You're not doing community. You're not hiring people. So I came with like the system. That's what I'm good at. With
mm,
writing, with newsletter, it was more of like every my newsletter. I try to make it like a letter, an actual letter to anyone who reads my newsletter. It's just me. I wondered how am I supposed to write this? I'm not a writer. But I realized that I'm very self centered. So I enjoy writing to people, telling them about what I'm going through, what exactly is happening, what's going on in my
mm,
mind. So it's just a short letter to my readers. It's emails. I've collected. These are emails I've actually personally collected through my 8 years of work in the
mm.
industry. That's because I host events. I host it's I don't know if you guys know it's Safari. It's the
Yeah.
first event that was ever held in Africa. I'm part of the team. I was
Mm,
among the first team that held Bitcoin Pizza Day. With ICP, we had a very large audience. We used to travel all over Kenya and East Africa training people about ICP. So within that time, I had collected a lot of contacts. So it's people I've worked with, and I hope that they enjoy listening to me and talking to me. So I write letters to them every week telling them what's happening in the space, what I've seen. But I don't see it as writing as much.
it just as a normal conversation you're trying to have.
Yeah. But the writing bit is done by my and we also hire writers. We hired one writer from Nigeria. We had him as a community manager, but he morphed himself into a writer. Yeah.
All right, all right. I think that's cool. So you made mention of systems. Now let's talk about systems. How do you feel? How do you think? Because I know founders are very good technical people. Oh, I'm the one with the idea and all of that. But many times it could be scattered. All right, but how important are systems in an organization or for someone trying to build something?
Well, they're very important. You can't really that's where hiring comes in. Yeah, anyone who's worked with me knows that I delegate a lot. I delegate anything. If I could delegate my brain, I would do it. But I that's where creating of jobs comes in. So when you create the system, if you want to do like social media management, and it's necessary, it's important. You have to create a system for that. Because if you want to do everything by yourself, you'll end up burning yourself out. You'll
Mm,
end up not achieving what you desire. So when you have an idea, founders are people who are very they're always coming up with ideas every day. So when you come up with an idea, you try it out one, two times, create a system for it so that you don't lose it, because these days everyone has ADHD. You can't
mm,
do everything. So
yeah.
it's to ensure sustainability of the whatever you're trying to build. Systems are very important.
Mm. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. All right. So, I mean, if you're watching right now and you're a founder, please don't try to be the front end, back end designer and all of that. Find a way to delegate responsibilities. So, let's talk about something else when it comes to hiring also. All right. I think one thing from the founders I've spoken to for the past months, they always have issues when it comes to hiring people or staffs or people for them to work with. But in the starting phase of a project, there's literally no money and all of that. All right. So I don't know if you guys started with paying your staffs or people that work with you guys at Blockwisely, or you guys had another system that probably just had them in and probably promised them something. So I want to know how it was all like for you guys.
You're going to the hard question. Yeah, so when it comes to payment of staff, for us, there are startups that I've worked for, like who are starting from the ground up, where
Mm,
I do not get paid. I think it genuinely depends on someone's philosophy of how they want to do things. For me, I struggle with that. I struggle not paying my staff. I'd rather go into debt. I'd rather, find some way to pay them, because it's just who I am. I wish I wasn't like that, because I wish that there's a company I worked for, which I genuinely think we were in a cult, because we because we worked so hard and we weren't getting paid. But for me, I'm not, even if like whatever we can afford, because I value my team and I know how it's like
mm,
crypto. Before
yeah.
you're willing to break the law to be in crypto, it means you genuinely have needs, and you have
Yeah.
needs that need to be
Definitely.
met. So I really encourage founders, yeah, whatever you can give your staff, give. We also try to follow Elon Musk, who gave a lot of his initial staff equity. So I heard even Binance Africa did that. So that's something that we're also trying to incorporate, because we also, as an early startup, we're also facing the same challenges. So we try to make it, because my team, I really value my team. They really work hard. I sometimes we feel so discouraged with my co-founder, like, what are we doing? Where are we going? But then you see your team waking up. They do, like, we have a video lady who just joined us like 2 weeks ago, and she's Nigerian. She does such high quality video, and we're like, what, we have to work hard for these people, this stuff.
Mm,
And when you know your staff has family, your staff, you feel like you're responsible for them,
yeah.
and it really bothers you to have to work harder, because you have to take care of their lives. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually that's very very correct by the way, because you have to put your staffs in the picture, because when they are motivated to work they give in their best. When they are happy working, they work brilliantly without you actually pushing them to do anything. So I think it's okay when you come to the point where you just know your staffs have to be rewarded, no matter how little it is, with something that shows that you love them and you cherish whatever it is that you're doing for you. All right, so let's. I'm currently on the website right now, and I see you guys actually talk about jobs, crypto jobs. You have a page for crypto jobs. I'd love to know how. I mean, how did this idea come into place, and how has it been like you have? All I did was I went to Block Wisely and I saw job opportunities there, and I applied for them and I got a particular jobs because I used Block Wisely.
Imagine no one is coming with testimonials to me. If you have a testimony, please tell, please tell me, because when I go to the website statistics, it's the most visited page after the homepage. Like we are now our numbers there are very high. That means people are sending to people. People are
Mm,
noticing because if you look at it, is before you get to the jobs page, it's like four other pages before it.
yes,
And
ma'am.
I'm actually the one who curates it. So every Monday morning, I sit down, going from LinkedIn to Web3. I go to many sites looking for these jobs, and then
Mm,
I actually did posted yesterday evening, and then I'm always seeing people there, but they never tell. They never tell me if they've gotten anything. I really wish I could get a testimonial because it would be nice. It would be nice
yeah,
to
it would
get.
be very nice because I mean, you guys would just have that on the website. You know, somebody did this, probably somebody's testimony, and all of that. Probably, I don't know if you guys can come up with probably a feedback kind of session that could encourage people
Mhm.
to probably share and all of that. I mean, you are the system person, yeah, you find a way around that. That's not my
That's
job.
a good idea. In fact, I think in fact I'll put at the bottom. Have you gotten it? I don't know what I'll do, and I
Well,
honestly don't know what I'll do. But it takes a lot of time to curate that list. I think I'll want to maybe have a pop-up screen. Have you gotten a job from this? I don't know. Yeah.
mm, yeah, that would be very nice because it will encourage you and you know what people are actually looking out for and how far it's going because
Mm-hmm.
it's one thing to be doing a lot of work and it's another thing to be knowing that what the job you are doing is yielding results, which
Mm-hmm.
is very, very encouraging on its own.
Yeah, but I
So
usually see it on the stats page. People are really
really, really
agree.
coming back.
Yeah, because when I look at the stats, it's always that's the most visited page, and I think it's well, I guess that's feedback in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would be nice. Exactly, that's enough feedback because if people are not getting opportunities from this or probably getting jobs from this, they won't come back because obviously they'll
Mm-hmm.
be discouraged and like, okay, what's happening here? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's some good feedback by the way. And honestly, good job. You guys are doing a very wonderful job on the platform and coming up with this is really, really high quality and standard. But let's also talk about how you generate revenue. All right. So how do you guys
Mm-hmm.
generate revenue as Block Wisely?
Hey, you have all the good questions.
Thank you.
So with with revenue generation, we offer services as Block Wisely.
Hmm.
So we do press releases. That's our
Hmm.
most popular service that we offer, where we get releases from companies sharing out news and we publish on our site. We also our second popular item is banner ads. We don't have one right now because we usually have a very common one with BitGet over here, but we also do banner ads at the top of the page or somewhere in the middle, and we also do another popular service that we offer is distribution. So we are part of a lot of communities. I said parts of our team is community management. So we go to WhatsApp communities that we're in and we share news. So in case like right now it's World Cup season and a lot of exchanges have
Prediction
added
markets.
prediction markets. So we go to right now we're doing it with Gate. We go to the communities that we are part of and we share with them news. So sharing PR, banner ads, and content distribution.
All right, thank you so much. All right, and I know that most of the questions I asked you, I've not touched most of them because I love having conversations. I don't love being bogged into pattern, all right? Because I feel these are questions that people actually probably would love to
Mhm,
ask, and I just love being in that space many times. All right, so
mhm,
you said that when you started working with your co-founder at Block Wisely, it was all
mhm.
scattered. There was no direction and all of that. I would just love to know how you made all this magic happen. Like, how did you get moved from that point to this point where you guys are running ads, helping with PRs and all of that? Like, how was the journey like for you?
Well, as I said, hiring people really take advantage. I don't think people take for granted the power of people. Like I tell my co-founder, Block Wisely wouldn't be Block Wisely if I didn't have him because I don't write. But he also says Block Wisely wouldn't be Block Wisely if he didn't have me because I'm the one who came with the systems. So, but then I think which systems, I'm not the one who created the design. I have a designer, he's called Sami. And he's the one who did the whole black and white block wisely design. Social
Mm,
media manager, I have a social media manager. We've worked together since ICP. She comes in and brings the ideas for social media. I wouldn't do that on my own. I go to when you look at for example, content distribution, my community manager is really good. She's a spammer. I'm not as she really spams groups, and people always telling me, oh, her name is Bella, like, oh, Bella is stressing us. she, she's posting in our groups. She even gets banned from groups, just sharing news, sharing about she's on her WhatsApp status sharing all the news that we have, and we actually grew a lot from WhatsApp community sharing. So I wouldn't say it's me. I think it's the power of there's a quote that our former founder is he founded Definity Foundation,
mm,
which is the one that owns ICP, and he says the quote is, what's important is that you have faith in people, that they're basically good and smart, that if you give them the tools they will do wonderful things with them.
mm,
So believing in people, like right now, I've been struggling like a bit with reaching out to people. Then the interviews I've had with this week for BD, I've met the most phenomenal people. So
mm.
I like assuming that you have all the tools here when you don't, even fingers are 10, they all have their own roles. So
Yeah.
creating a team that can assist you and believing in people, they just work together and they bring magic.
Mm. it's
Yeah.
it's it's okay, like it's really good to know that you're actually not taking all the credit. You're actually knowing that, okay, this was how people, or these are the roles people have actually played to making Bitwisely what it is today. And I mean, that's massive, understanding that. So let's also talk about probably somebody watching right now, somewhere in Kenya, somewhere in Nigeria, somewhere in Nairobi, watching right now, and they're trying to do something great for themselves but don't know how to start. All right, because of the economy, how things are hard, how there is no job, like you made mention of earlier on. Someone go to school, do a course of 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, and coming out without a direction, talk less of a job. All right, so like, what would be your 2 cents, or what would be your advice to them, or something?
Hmm. Advice to people who are lost. I don't know. Like there's a quote that I've been seeing on Twitter a lot, which is, "A moving man will eventually meet
Meet his
his luck."
luck. Yep.
Yeah. So me, how I started in Web3 was going for events, the ones that were in the boot camp. Then I didn't stop there. I started following the people who I met at events. I'd follow their Twitter, see where they're hosting their next event, follow
Mm,
them on like follow other tech places like their hubs, tech hubs. Whenever I'd see anything blockchain, I'd go. Volunteering, I used to volunteer a lot my services. So, um, I think genuinely think that's the direction to go. If you're feeling lost, find something that excites you. Find something. There's a lady who went viral for saying "job your love," and it
yeah,
was
love. Yeah, job you love.
yeah. So find something that excites you. If you're into tech
Mm,
like me, go for all events you can. If there are 3 events happening that day in different parts of the country, you go for find your way to go to all of them. Especially when you're young.
mm,
When you're in your 20s, you can do so much. Energy is really taken for granted. You have that chance. You in crypto you usually invest money, but when you're younger you can invest time and energy. So when
mm,
you're just out of uni, please use that energy to move, move, do everything you can to do it, and then eventually I you can't it does it just you can't go on for 2 years and not meet anything.
exactly.
Eventually you actually meet your luck, because
Mm.
there's statistics. Just don't stay at home watching House of Dragon like the way I want to watch right now. Yeah. And then expect good things will come your way.
Yeah, also be expectant of good things. That makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense. And it's actually also nice to hear you advise people in their 20s. Now you're in your 30s. I'm tempted to
Yeah.
ask how it feels like to be 30, by the way. Does it feel good?
Oh my God, I have so much to say. Do you have time?
Yeah, I kind of have time. Come on, let's have it.
Oh my God. Okay. Being in 30. Okay, first of all, I feel like I've been 30 even in my 20s because I got a kid very young when I was young,
Hmm.
just right after uni. So I had to leave a lot of my friends and focus on working crypto and hustling because I was a single mom. And
Hmm.
then when I reached 30, I thought I would be exactly the same. But then suddenly I am so lazy. What is I'm doing? You know how I'm saying go for all crypto events? Catch
Mhm.
me dead in one event. Oh my God. Suddenly I'm like, I just want to stay at home. And
Hmm.
they call it resting in your feminine. I want to
Hmm.
rest.
In your feminine.
I want to stay at home and chill. Like I'm always like, why am I always in a hurry?
Hmm.
I can relax. Life is not all about work. Um,
You know that some years back, life was
yeah,
all about work, but yeah, you
life
had to
is all
do.
about moving. Life is all about being aggressive. And now I'm like, let the kids do that. I'm cool.
Mm.
I'm chill. And then I'm always watching some TikTok trends about women in their 20s versus in their 30s. Like suddenly your body, women and hormones, we're really governed by our own hormones.
Mm.
Your nervous system becomes so loud, like you are more attentive to your inner voice. Like you can be thinking, like when you're in your 20s, your boundaries are usually a bit lower. And I guess it's biology because otherwise, if they were not, the human race would go extinct. Because when you're in your 30s thinking about, y- you just want to move and be competitive. But in your 30s, you care less about people. You really don't care what people think. Like right now, I've just been sent a video of someone calling me a crypto cartel in Kenya, and I'm like, do you know how hard I work to be called a cartel? And I'm
I saw
like,
you retweeted it on Twitter, right?
yeah, I was like, I found it so funny. But then, like before, it would have really bothered me. But now I'm thinking this must be a joke. And before it
Mm.
was like, I hope people will like me. Now I'm like, I hope I like you.
The
Yeah, perspectives are changing so much. I'm genuinely fascinated, and I'm happy about it. I'm
Mm.
really grateful for my 20s because um I worked so hard. I'm grateful because I worked hard to achieve. I remember when I was turning 29 in August 2025, I got the award of top 40 under 40, which was an award I wanted for so long since my teen years. And I was so happy. That's how I closed my 20s because I really put in a lot of work. Now in my 30s, I'm like, I just want to rest. I want to chill. But you can't get money, you can't achieve your goals if you're not working hard, of course. So there has to be a balance that is
I think now it's just more calculated and more balanced right now. You know that it's
yeah.
important of rest. You know when it's time to work, you just work, and you're not seen everywhere like before. So I think
Hmm.
maturity also plays a role in all of this too.
Yeah. How old are you though?
Oh, I'm currently close to 30, around there. So I just want to know how it feels like. I'm currently 28. All right, just want to know how it feels like to be 30, and maybe
Hmm.
probably by then I'll rest a lot like you.
Hopefully. Oh, but men
Oh,
are not supposed to rest. Men, you're
oh,
not
come
supposed.
on. We are humans too.
No,
We have blood flowing in our veins too. We have
no,
hormones.
no. Men
Oh,
are
come
supposed to
on.
work hard till they die. That's that's
Oh
how
my
it was
God.
meant to be.
That's not how it was meant to be. Please,
That's
please.
how it should be. That's how
Come
it should
on.
be.
Why?
Because women, we like, hey, I could like
Uh-huh.
I'm not a feminist. I am. It's like in my 20s, I was like, feminism is bad. It's bad for women. Women are supposed to be so. But now I'm in my 30s, I'm like, yo, feminists had a point because because when you're in your like when you're I have children. I have more than
Hmm.
one now.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in that labor ward, you almost die, like it's near death, and it's the most
Experience, yeah.
painful experience ever. And before that, carrying pregnancy, like I remember, I first trimester, I you vomit everything, including water. Your body
Mm,
goes through hell and back over and over and over again.
I see.
So
Mm.
the women play their role. They have their wars, and
I see.
most
I
of
see
them,
where you are driving at right now, and I see.
yeah. So men should go fight their wars until they die,
Oh my God.
because as we almost die fighting our wars. I guess that's why I genuinely believe it's hormonal, because when you're in your 20s, when you're most like fertile and all, but in your 30s, it just starts going down like this, and you want
Down,
to
yeah.
rest. It's time for you
Mm,
to rest. You've done your part. You fed the
mm,
universe. Now rest.
mm. Oh, you rest and be taken good care of, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's how it should. Okay, it doesn't happen, especially for the African woman. It doesn't happen.
Unfortunately,
But
but
yeah,
sometimes, I mean, if you're lucky to find guys like me, come on, you're
like
still lucky.
Nigerian men. Nigerian men are
Exactly.
the best.
Thank you. I'm going to clip this part of the live stream and post everywhere. Nigerian men are the best.
Yeah.
Bye.
I actually believe in the next, say, 300 years, everyone will
Mm.
have a strain of Nigerian, because it seems like
We are
they're the ones
everywhere.
who understand, like the population of the world is going down
Mm.
because women don't want children anymore. But
Mm.
like it's because women are not being treated well the way they
Well,
should
yeah,
be. And some
exactly.
societies like West African, they actually try. They try.
Yeah,
So
we
I
did.
think
We actually try.
yeah. So I believe in the future women will choose where they are treated well, where they felt that they are taken care of.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we don't take much of our time. Let me just ask the last question now. Let's talk about networking. I'm sure you are someone that has probably networked on different scales, and I've seen people that wonder, how do I network in the Web3 space? How do I build good network? I've been to events and people are like, "Oh, my name is this. I'd love to connect with you," and I don't end up replying their messages on WhatsApp. All right,
Mhm.
and because I just feel probably just bumped into me, and I've not really seen any value in them. But let's talk about networking briefly. Like, what is networking to you, and how can people network better now?
Okay, so I'll give you my experience. I don't know if it applies to everyone. Now, for me, I always, back in the day, 8 years ago, I had the advantage of being a minority, being a woman in a male-dominated
Mm,
space. But it's not really about going to one event once. It's about going as many as times as possible until you're memorable. Like being on people's faces, you make it's. For me, introverts go everywhere saying I'm an introvert, but I'm an introvert. So
mhm,
networking for me has never been easy. But what I believe has worked for me is not just going to one event once, like going to one event, making one friend, even if it's the chef or the person serving food. That person serving food might be invited to serve food in the next event. You
mm,
make that one friend in that one event. The next event, he'll introduce you to the next person. Yeah,
mm,
and then the next person will introduce you. You go to another event, maybe the person serving is not there, but this other person is there. It's like a tree. Like you start with one person introduces you to two people. These two people introduce you to two other people, three.
mm.
Like someone can even introduce you to five people at a go. Goes
Yeah.
on, goes on, goes on, goes on. It's more of compounding. Compounding, like the way we talk about compound interest of money. It's not about that one event you go to. It's about the sixth, seventh, 10th, 11. It's not, that's what has worked for me. And maybe something you do is memorable. One thing that you do might be, maybe you might say something that might fascinate one person, or maybe you might be like me, who had the minority advantage of being one of two women in an event or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So for me, I believe you shouldn't just attend one crypto event, attend 50. And that's how you'll make the networks. That's how people are calling me a cartel now.
Because you have a large network.
But I actually put in the work.
Put in the
Actually
work.
put in
That's
the-
right. Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay. All right. So sorry, I said that was the last question. Unfortunately, that's not the last question. I was just kidding. But
Mhm.
let's talk about. I think I'll just ask two questions. I'll try to ask them together so we can just, because of our time, and I don't take much of your time. So in the next couple of years, where do you see Block Wisely at? Like to you, what's the roadmap like? What's the vision like? Probably you guys want to launch a token, a meme coin, so we can buy early or something. Or and my second question is for those people watching right now and probably would love to be a part of what you're building and probably intern or probably paid road or something. Are there opportunities like that right now existing at Block Wisely?
Okay, so 5 years from now, I want to see Block Wisely competing with CoinDesk. I will not let go of that vision, because I was watching a podcast once and someone was saying how when you're building from Africa, you tend to think that you're limited to Africa. Um, but I think with Africa being one of, like, Nigeria controls, I think, is it 60% of stablecoins or something?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, it matters. You can, I genuinely believe if we build and work hard enough, we will be a competitor to the big players. That's my goal. Um, and for opportunities in block, oh my God, everyone is looking for jobs. Hey, even me, I'm looking for a job. Like, you can, this week has really shown me how everyone is looking for a job. My
How
God.
hungry everyone is.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just, for me, I really want to request the people who are OGs in the space. If you've been there for, like, even you 4 years or more, or 5 years and more, it's your time to create jobs. It's not,
Mm,
so many people are coming out of university in Africa. We already know us, our boomers, our parents' generations, they had jobs, they were okay, they would stay in their jobs for 50 years. They didn't have needs like us, who we come out of universities. Like, I know our neighbors in Tanzania, I've heard of people saying staying 6 years just chilling at home without looking for jobs. These are millennials, people who have benefited from the space. It's our time now, to create opportunities for the younger generation.
mm,
That's why I'm very keen on posting crypto jobs on Block Wisely. And I encourage Africans, we have to create a self sustaining system within Africa, as opposed to, like, waiting for jobs from the West. Yeah, we have to create our systems here, create opportunities here, invest in our projects here, consume projects from here, because people are always saying, why are we using Binance? Like, why are we using Binance and the crypto.coms and the Mexis? We should create our own exchange. Yeah, we should, like, now we have a PR from here with Block Wisely. Let's use it. Let's create jobs. I think that would be most important to me as my parting shot.
no.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. I really appreciate it. Like it's amazing speaking to you. I've not laughed this hard in a while on a live stream. It has always been so serious. But thank you so much for bringing your lights into the live stream. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. I learned a lot from this live stream. I hope people that watch this also learned a lot, by the way. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you for
You're
taking the
welcome.
time. I
All
also
right.
had fun. I also had fun.
So not as boring as I thought then.
No, you're not boring.
All right. All right. So thank you so much once again.